Dragons Live, presented by Form Communications.
Hello everyone, I'm Alexis Kennedy alongside Tanner Robinson. Happy holidays and welcome to Dragons Live. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight as we send you into the winter break.
We'll show you how a men's basketball player is using faith as a motivator, how a women's basketball player is helping out in the community, and we'll take a look at some Dragon holiday traditions.
But first, if you haven't heard already, MSUM football made it to the Mineral Water Bowl. Here's a recap of how the long haul to Missouri went down.
I think, obviously every trip has its own, ups and downs, and especially when you have a longer one, there's adventures that go with it. And, when you leave Moorhead and your bus gets stuck and you're pushing a little with some strong young men playing football and get you going on the road. But, for the most part, I think, it was pretty smooth. It was good to be able to spend time with the guys and take advantage of the opportunity to be together. Have some conversation. I think, staying at the hotel that was famous for being haunted was certainly, all kind of added to the twists and turns of everything. And when you look back, you're glad you had some good time with guys, and should be memories that last for a long time. I think, it was great for our guys to be able to get an opportunity on Friday morning to be able to volunteer in the schools down in Excelsior Springs. Game's been going on for over 50 years, and nobody's ever asked to be able to get into the schools there and volunteer. And I think our guys had a great experience. Each and every one of them into every school room in that whole elementary school. The players were interactive. They were like heroes and rock stars there. They're signing autographs. They're helping with reports. They're in Fayed. They're in music. And I think it was really interesting to see how a lot of kids' faces lit up in the lunchroom when they're sitting at a table and don't really have any friends next to them, and the next thing they know, now they got a couple football players at their table and talking with them. So I think, seeing the joy that it brought to those kids, seeing the relationships that those kids kind of quickly formed in a couple hours, they're crying as our players are leaving the building, which I think is always, heart moving, and I think it lets you realize how innocent and easily young kids make friends. I think it's just a good reminder that, we all need to be open to making friends with people that easily. I think it was the biggest banquet that they'd ever had Friday night before the game. I think when you bring, the two fan bases together, the two teams together around an event, I thought it was a great opportunity for both schools to kind of talk about, who they are at the foundation. I thought President Dan did a great job of explaining our school, and I think it was a great opportunity to have people there that were passionate about the game of football and passionate about, for the most part, their sons and their close relatives that they're watching play in the game. And it was a good chance for me, I thought, to be able to talk to the group about the fact that, sometimes the game of football gets a lot of, bad publicity, whether it's, the injuries that come with it or whatnot. And I think, it was a great opportunity to really focus on the great lessons that do come with the game of football, with camaraderie and building mental toughness. And I think that's the part of the game that our guys really bought into, the fact that it is about relationships. And I think we grew some great relationships that'll last well beyond that last game that we played. It'll go into the future. Those guys will be together at weddings, at family barbecues, when they've got kids running around. And, unfortunately, they're going to be together at times when there's funerals and tough times in life, but that's when you need friends, and I think that's what this group is able to build so special, and know that as we walk out into life, they're going to have those friends that are going to last a lifetime. I think this senior class is special in the sense that they bought into everything we talked about. They believed in the fact that we were going to have to create an intangible piece to the game that would push us over the top, and I think they did it at a critical time. We were coming off a rough season. I think any time that you take a fall like that and you're in a downward spiral, it's difficult to get out. And so they stopped momentum. They moved it in the other direction. I think they were a light that shone for the rest of the team and the young guys about what it takes to be good. And it's not just about talent and potential. It's on paper. It's about how well you can function as a group of young men working towards a common goal. And I think they showed that, they exemplified that, and I think that's why this program is indebted to them for years into the future.
I'm proud of you. Okay, you guys kept fighting yourself. You guys had a great year. Hey, for the program, for our university, did a lot of great things. Okay, today wasn't our day. Okay, but eventually our day will come. Okay, I've been saying it for 8 years. Eventually our day will come, and it's been coming slowly but surely. This was one of those days that we said, hey, just wait. It'll come. It'll come and came. Okay, didn't go how we wanted, but the next day that we're waiting for is still out there for us to get. Okay, it's still there. We've got the building blocks. Okay, they've been laid by the guys who came before us. They've been laid by this senior class. It's all still there. Our day will come. Our day will come. That cheering out there, that'll be us cheering at some point. Whether it's in this game, whether it's on a playoff game, whatever it might be. Well, you gotta believe, you gotta stay the course. Simple as that. Exactly what we've been doing. And that's where it's headed. That's where we're going. That's how it works. Okay? Handle ourselves with class here, finish this thing out. Love you guys. Good team.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Not the scoreboard we wanted, but what a great season it was for Dragon football. Finishing at 8-4, the most wins since 1991.
Back when both schools were in the NAIA, MSUM and Concordia College were bitter rivals. Now, they've established a budding partnership with each other. This year, their relationship and competition are still firmly intertwined.
Two NCAA athletics programs call Moorhead, Minnesota home. They are divided by a long-standing tradition of rivalry, a graveyard, and 8th Street. But the history and proximity aside, the two schools are anything but separate.
When I think about our relationship with the Cobbers, I think back to when I first started and Larry Pappenfusch reached out to me. I didn't really know the Cobber-Dragon rivalry, and we ended up having lunch. It was the first Power Bowl. Some things happened right away. It really established our relationship, and it set the tone for my work with the Cobbers through a variety of different athletic directors and realizing the value of having a good working relationship with them.
This season, the Dragons will face the Cobbers head-to-head in wrestling, swimming and diving, tennis, softball, and men's basketball, more than any other non-conference opponents by almost double. Twice the games means twice the opportunity to foster a bitter rivalry and, as it turns out, a pretty strong relationship.
If you look at this year, it's a great example. Our academic year was a little bit different start, and so that created some conflicts with basketball, and it was awesome to be able to call up Rachel over at Concordia and have the conversation about whether we could play our games against Northern State there. They were very accommodating. They were fantastic friends, and we really appreciate that. And we know that in the next couple of years, they're going to need something. We're going to be able to help them out, and it is cyclical, so it's good to know that we have that strong working relationship.
Together, the two schools ensure there's always a college-level game to catch, featuring local talent and adding a robust sports culture in the community.
And you think about that it is a highly contested rivalry, and you've got fans on both sides. Like I think about Lowell Bolger, who played for the Dragon. He is a diehard Dragon, but his grandson played basketball for the Cobbers, and just watching him balance that pride and the sports fans that do go to both athletic departments events and know the student athletes on both sides and really just enjoy the fact that there's extra college games to go to that are really in the same area.
We appreciate the camaraderie with our 8th Street rivals. The next Cobber Dragons battle will be in the pool as the teams face off in a duel at MSUM on February 1st.
Coming up on Dragons Live, see how a Dragon women's basketball player is volunteering off the court. Stay with us.
And have a little fun, book your room at the highly rated Microtel Inn & Suites. It's conveniently located just off 8th Street and I-94. Clean rooms and all the amenities you need to relax and recharge after a fun day out. Plus, when you wake up, you can enjoy a free hot breakfast. What are you waiting for? Book your room today at the Microtel Inn & Suites in Moorhead. Call 218-284-4022 or visit microtelmoorhead.com.
It's a new stay at the Courtyard by Marriott, located just minutes from downtown Fargo, local colleges, shopping centers, and several restaurants. The Courtyard features a 24-hour fitness center, 24-hour on-site Starbucks, and our bistro restaurant and lounge open for breakfast and dinner daily. Relax in one of our 2 indoor swimming pools and hot tub. The comfort your family needs close to all the action at the Courtyard by Marriott. Visit our website or call 218-284-1000. That's 218-284-1000.
Okay, one more.
All right, Benji.
Come on.
Benji.
Yes, smile. Come on,
What about the flash?
Okay, one more. Benjamin, hold it
Make a flash,
sideways.
Benji. You have to
Please
back
use
it up.
my
You want to
camera.
get everybody
Looking at
in.
the
You
camera?
can't get everybody in unless you back
Well,
up.
he did it. He did
There
it.
you go.
Did you
get? Do you need me?
Don't forget to
Did you
take
get it,
one
Ben?
with my camera.
I think you got
Benjamin.
Take another
What?
shot.
I think I blinked.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings Beer Sports.
Welcome back, everyone. Athletes never shy away at the chance of helping people out in the community around them.
Joining us now is Jacob Tenson, who got the chance to talk with one of those special athletes who's doing just that.
Well, thanks, Lexi. It's the holiday season, which means the season of giving is in the air. I caught up with women's basketball assist leader Jackie Volkert to talk about her assists off the basketball court.
Katie Thorson has volunteered there for a couple of years, and she's kind of the bridge between MSUM women's basketball and the homeless shelter. And I went there a couple times with some teammates and hung out with some kids, and then I just happened to run into a family who needed a mentor, and I just started working specifically with them, helping them read, do homework, anything really in school, just hang out. So I've been with them for about 1.5 years, and it's been really, really fun. And I know a lot of my other teammates are working with kids too from the homeless shelter.
Thanks, Jackie. We appreciate how well you represent the red and white in our community. Guys?
You know, Jake, it's always fun to see her on the court, but it's always great to see when an athlete goes above and beyond.
There's actually a lot of student athletes out there that are doing the same thing.
So great to see the involvement. Thanks, Jake. The Dragon weight room has been a big difference maker in the success and development of our athletes here at MSUM, setting them apart and ahead of the competition. Dragons football is fresh off their most successful season in 20 years. Find out that raising the bar is raising the wins.
You know, everybody lifts weights, everybody squats, everybody runs. I think in the past couple of years that has helped the team get better is not necessarily what we're doing, but how we're doing it. Just in regards to, you know, holding the athletes accountable, and then having, you know, coaches do a great job of recruiting good guys, obviously good football players, but good people that want to be good. And it's easy to work with those type of guys because then they hold their teammates accountable. They create good leadership within the program, and that's something I think that has helped elevate the program over the years.
Coach Anderson's kind of the machine that runs everything from behind the scenes, and he definitely challenged us this offseason along with the whole coaching staff to just be a little more intentional with every single workout, and there was definitely some hard days.
You know, over winter workouts, we will go out there and we will run. We'll do our conditioning out on the field. As long as the field is, you know, cleared off enough so it's safe for us to run on. But, you know, it doesn't matter what the temperatures are in the winter. We're going to go out there and condition.
He really pushes you, so if you feel like you could get through that, you literally feel like you could get through anything. So he's tough on us, but it's for a reason, and it's worked out.
Coach Anderson's awesome. You know, he's probably the coach that we as football players spend the most time with. Obviously, the main reason is to get bigger, faster, stronger, but then also this past year there's a big emphasis on our mental toughness as well. You know, pushing through the difficult times in the workout, in running, all of that. And I think it definitely transitioned into winning games this year. When there was a tough time in a game, we were able to overcome.
Anderson's not, you know, he can't always be out on the field with us, and so he tries to take pride in the weight room and attacking every rep, bringing the juice is what we call it. Every play, every rep that we do. So understanding that, you know, it's just an in-season lift and it's not a game or a practice, but we have to treat it all the same because we're all working towards the same goal.
you know, we've seen our kids overcome adversity because of that. We've seen some phenomenal performances individually by kids that have overcome pain, fatigue, injury, because he's allowed them to find that innermost place that most people don't know they have. And I think that's one of the greatest things that our players coming out of this program, not just football players, but all our athletes get out of here. They find that inner place that most people don't know exists because of what they do in that training room, and allowing him to push them to that spot and see what they truly are capable of.
It's the athletes. You know, there was a time where I had to kind of figure out, did I want to keep coaching a sport or did I want to go to strength conditioning? Because I knew I didn't want to do both. And the crossroads was, you know, what's the most important part that I enjoy, and it was being around the athletes. That's seeing the behind the scenes, you know, being injured, going through all the hard times, and then seeing them on the court, on the field, on the mat, seeing the wins, the championships, stuff like that. It's awesome.
Thank you, Travis, as well as the rest of the Dragons strength staff for your commitment to all of our student athletes here at MSUM.
Coming up on Dragons Live, we'll take a look at a men's basketball player who uses the power of prayer to push his game to the next level.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
Prosperity is today's investment in tomorrow's promise. The promise of a better way of life. With every act of kindness, every act of creation, and with every act of love, we strengthen our community. And when we stand together as a community, we accomplish the impossible. We can choose to pass through life, or we can choose to pass on a better way of life.
Welcome back to Dragons Live. It's not unusual for some players on all kinds of sports teams to have their own beliefs, and the Dragons men's basketball team is no different.
You're certainly right about that, Lex. I caught up with men's basketball senior forward Addison Park to see how he brings his faith into his game. Was it more of like a discovery of faith or a rediscovery of faith once you joined men's basketball?
I'd say, yeah, definitely once I came to college, I definitely grew my faith and, you know, definitely got to know more, like, you know, who Jesus was and, you know, who God was and through Athletes in Action and through crew and, you know, through basketball as well, just having other believers on the team, definitely sparked a growth. It changes your perspective, you know, while you're playing basketball and why you're playing it, and it motivates you, you know, in a different way. And it talks about it in the Bible, you know, being a light, you know, like a city on a hill, like, you know, everyone can see it. And I'm just trying to live, you know, how Jesus wants me to live and live how he did. And I hope I'm doing that, and I can do that with my teammates because we're with each other all the time. And I just hope that just the way they see me living, you know, the way I play basketball and the way I live my life off the court, you know, hopefully that can somehow, you know, help us, you know, play better together on the court. We started praying, you know, before our game and during the halftime of the girls' game. We would just go into our locker room and we started inviting people to come join us. And we've had times where there's, you know, 6 or 7 of us that have all been, you know, praying for stuff, and and we were just praying about the game, praying about our lives and praying for, whatever the Holy Spirit put on our hearts. And there's a few guys in the past and even, a couple guys now that I definitely have a lot of spiritual conversations with and, bounce ideas off one another. And there's guys on the team that, pray for me and, I can pray for them and we can, talk about things we're struggling with, or we celebrate things that need to be celebrated and stuff that are happening in our lives. So it's good to, have that, on a team because, basketball is, stressful and stuff like that and whatnot. So it's good to just, take that stress and I can be able to, look to God and then Jesus for, just a reminder of who I am and what my identity is and stuff like that.
Thank you, Addison. We appreciate your time. Basketball is back in action on January 11th against Bemidji State and the 12th against Minnesota Crookston.
How well do you think you know Santa's reindeer? I went around the athletic department and put them to the ultimate holiday test to see how many reindeer they can name in 10 seconds. Check it out.
Rudolph, Connor Blitzen. I probably just butchered those. I don't know.
Rudolph, Vixen, Prancer, Comet, Dasher, Dancer.
Rudolph. Is it like Metzen, Blitzen? I don't know. Holy cow, I don't know. I just know Rudolph and Blitzer.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph.
Dasher, Dancer, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph.
Donner, Dasher, Blitzen, Cupid, Rudolph, Blitzen.
Dasher, Dancer, Rudolph, Blitzen. That's all I've got.
Comet, Blitzen, Rudolph, Cupid. Donner.
Dasher and Dancer and Comet and Vixen. Cupid, Donner, Rudolph, who am I missing?
Rudolph. I think that's all that matters, doesn't it?
Kinda. He's very important.
He's the leader.
Don't got the 8 others?
No.
That's not gonna happen. Dasher and Blitzen and Comet and Rudolph and how many are there?
Okay, Tanner, go.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph. Duh.
Great job. Up next on Dragons Live, we'll see what's going on at Doug's desk and go through the events taking place coming out of the winter break.
Dragon Swim School is proud to offer year-round swimming and diving lessons with the lowest student-to-instructor ratio around. Lessons are available for all levels, including parent-child sessions and preschool. Help your child learn to love the water in a safe and caring environment with us at Dragon Swim School. Visit msumdragons.com/swim for more information. That's msumdragons.com/swim.
You always do this. You had a couple of pops in you and got cocky. Who's up for a game of wing roulette, you said? Because you thought it'd be funny to watch one of your friends get stuck with the hot one. But your friends, they got teriyaki, then spicy garlic, and then Asian zing. And now you're looking at the last one and you're thinking, my God, what have I done?
Well, it finally happened, Zachary. Somebody burned down my she shed.
Nobody burned down your she shed, Cheryl.
Well, my she shed's on fire.
The she shed was struck by lightning.
Zachary, is my she shed covered by State Farm?
Your she shed's covered, Cheryl.
You hear that, Victor? I'm getting a new she shed.
She shed?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful news.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call State Farm agent Dave Eggers at 218-233-1334 today.
Another day. And just like every day, it never seems to slow down. But you have a plan. Grab a cup, grab the paper, and grab a little time. Just for you. It's worth it. Don't get the paper? Just grab the phone. Call now and save up to 60% off the newsstand price. Journalists, bringing the story home every day.
From the time you were little, bouncing off the walls, you were told, go do something. And so you did. Then one day you found yourself in a cap and gown. Now, go do something was an invitation. Or was it a challenge? Go with Midco. We connect you with powerful, innovative technology. That's the start. Your drive and vision do the rest. Go do something. Yeah, that's definitely a challenge. You and Midco. Let's go.
Welcome back to Dragons Live. Our very own AD, Doug Peters, is always fired up about something. Let's see what he's working on this week in Doug's desk.
Hey, I'm fired up. You're joining for this week's segment of Doug's Desk. What's going on behind the scenes in Dragon Athletics? I'm just trying to figure out how to celebrate. I'll tell you what, it has been a fantastic December. Emily Willetsko provisionally qualified for the Track and Field Indoor Championships with a fantastic throw. Amber Westerling in the dive for swimming and diving is qualified provisionally. And then, hey, what about our women's basketball team? 6-0 in the month of December. Right now, they're sitting at 10-2. They've played a tough Division II non-conference schedule, sitting at the top of the NSIC North. Whew. So behind the scenes, what are we going to do? We're going to take a week off. Part of the beauty of Division II, life in the balance. We have a dead period for 7 days. Our student athletes get to go home, get away from their coaches. Our coaches get to get away from the student athletes. The administrators, we get to sit behind the scenes and go, ooh, how can we celebrate these successes? And it's fantastic. It's a great chance to take that deep breath and see what's going on. You know, another thing, too, that we've gotten to do behind the scenes is celebrate the academic success of our student athletes. We just had 12 student athletes graduate. We get to hand them this fantastic medal, which they wear around their neck as they walk across the stage and head out into the next phase of their life. So here's what I encourage you to do. MSUMDragons.com. Follow along. We have got some fantastic stuff going on, and we're going to share it in as many unique and fun ways as we can as we come out of the holiday season, because we got to make it through the doldrums of January and February, and a great way to do it is with the success of our student athletes and celebrating that success here in Dragon Athletics. Have a fantastic holiday season, and we'll see you next year.
We got a few more things to take care of before we go. The official online store of the Dragons is shopmsumdragons.com with over 1,300 officially licensed items, including brands like Under Armour, Adidas, Columbia, and more. Get women's, youth, and baby sizes and find everything you need to show your Dragon pride at shopmsumdragons.com.
We have a brand new MSUM Dragons app. You can update your old Dragons app or search MSUM in the App Store. You can delete the #FiredUpFanZone Rewards app because this new version has both great live coverage and rewards together in one app that you can customize to follow only the sports you want to follow. Get the new MSUM Dragons app today by update Apple Store or by visiting msumdragons.com/app.
And one final look at our upcoming home schedule. After we return from the semester break, basketball starts off 2019 on January 11th against Bemidji State and the 12th against Minnesota Crookston. Both of those games will be televised right here on WDAY Extra. The Dragon Invite swim meet will be over at the Hulbert Aquatic Center on January 18th and 19th, and basketball hosts the same weekend against Wayne State and South Dakota rival Augustana. Wrestling also returns to Nemzek on the 26th. Thank you for joining us here on Dragons Live. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we also hope you have a safe and joyful holiday season with your family and friends.
For our producer, John Webking, our director, Alex Nelson, Kaylee Sedlacek, Jacob Tenson, Tanner Robinson, Laura Alexander, and myself, thank you for watching. Happy holidays, and of course, go Dragons.
Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. Duh.
Great job. Up.
Did I? Oh no!
See,
how could I forget the most famous reindeer of all? No! How can I forget that red nose? Everyone remembers when I blew it. Unbelievable.